Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we've got just an incredible story. We're exploring the journey of a Buddhist nun. She's making this profound impact, really, in one of the most challenging places you could possibly imagine. So the question we're asking is, how does someone bring light into, well, society's darkest corners? And what are these intricate karmic threads that connect a spiritual leader like her to her own family's, unique paths? Our sources for this deep dive, they come from a really fascinating case study. It gives this rare glimpse into the life, the work, and the karmic insights surrounding this Taiwanese bhikkhuni. It's really a window into a world most of us, well, we can barely imagine it.
Yeah, exactly. And our mission today really is to pull out some crucial insights. We're looking at the power of Dharma, how it transforms lives, and the precise workings of karma, the good, the bad, the impact of selfless service too, and those connections, often surprising, between what happened in the past and what's happening right now. Get ready, because this might make you see things, maybe even your own life, a little bit differently.
Okay, so let's introduce her. Our central figure, she's a Mahayana Buddhist nun, a bhikkhuni in Taiwan, ordained for nearly 30 years now since she was just 24. What really stands out is her commitment, this deep spiritual vow, often put as, I will be a light for them. And for 2 decades, she's been doing exactly that. She's part of the Young Buddhist Association of Taiwan. And her mission, teaching the Dharma to death row inmates in Taiwan's largest prison. Just pause and think about the sheer courage that takes for a moment.
It's immense, the weight of it. And these aren't just, average prisoners. These are considered the country's most dangerous people, incarcerated for really severe crimes, drug trafficking, murder, things like that. It's actually quite telling that at one point, the government itself was just so overwhelmed by the problems in the prisons. They actually sought religious intervention. It says a lot, doesn't it? About the situation and the unique role she stepped into.
Wow. So when she started, what was the reaction? Did she get pushback? People must have warned her, right, about the danger, questioning how, a lone woman, a nun, could possibly succeed where even the government struggled.
Oh, absolutely. But her motivation, it was profound. It completely overshadowed any fear she might have felt. She saw these inmates as, well, pitiable, believing they did wrong mostly out of ignorance of karma. So her aim wasn't judgment, it was guidance towards a better path, a better future, or, and this is critical, at least a positive rebirth if they were facing execution. And she firmly believed this act also built merit for herself. That's a real hallmark of a bodhisattva's compassion, that boundless care.
Okay, so her routine, how does she actually do it? It sounds both simple and incredibly powerful. She goes alone into this high-walled prison, conducts sessions 3 days a week for the male inmates, 1 day for the female inmates. And the core teaching is the law of karma. Good deeds bring good results, bad deeds bring bad results. Plus practical Dharma for just, well, daily life inside.
Exactly. And the transformation she sparked is, well, it's truly remarkable. You have to picture it. Inmates, some chained with heavy iron balls, actually bringing these burdens with them to chant, listening to Dharma talks, meditating together, in unison. And it wasn't just anecdotal. Government reports actually confirmed it. A significant drop in aggressive behavior, more cooperation among the prisoners. Many even converted to Buddhism. They started regularly chanting, reading, some even copying the sacred texts, the Tipitaka. This isn't just behavior change, It suggests a deep inner shift happening.
That's incredible. But there's one story that really stands out, isn't there? The one about the young death row inmate. The one who killed his parents for drug money. That's Anantariya Kama, right? One of the worst actions. And through her teachings, he embraced Buddhism, expressed real remorse, and he drew a picture of Guan Yin, the goddess of mercy, and compared the bhikkhuni to her right before his execution. So that's just a powerful testament to her impact.
It really is. And that inmate's letter, his whole transformation, it actually pushed her story into the national spotlight. Newspapers ran headlines like, "If the prison is not empty, Bhikkhuni Nyawei will not enter nirvana to become a Buddha." That quote, it just perfectly captures her unwavering vow, her dedication.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. From her public mission, this amazing prison work, to something more private, but just as profound. The detailed karmic case studies of her own family, these were presented to her for analysis, and they revealed this deeply interconnected tapestry of past actions and present situations. Let's start with her father. He wasn't always a Buddhist, right? But after getting diagnosed with liver cancer, he found faith, started chanting diligently, and he passed away peacefully, smiling after her disciples chanted for him all night. That sounds like a very serene end.
It does. And his rebirth, the impact of the merit, it's quite specific in the case study. Because his mind was pure at the end, because he was chanting, remembering the triple gem. He was reborn as an Akasateva, that's a sky deity. With the celestial mansion, interestingly, designed in the Chinese style he knew, it shows how sincere effort, even late in life, can yield a positive result, even without a lifetime of, say, extensive generosity or meditation. And fascinatingly, the merit the Bhikkhuni made for him, building a Buddha image with his name on it, it actually upgraded his celestial place to silver gold, improved his heavenly food. But he had no retinue, no attendants, because he hadn't encouraged others to do good in his life. It shows how precise karma is.
Wow, that's incredibly detailed. Okay, what about her mother? She's 74, deeply devout, vegetarian for decades, even received bodhisattva precepts, wants to achieve Buddhahood. But despite all this spiritual dedication, she's suffering from poor health, vomiting blood frequently. How does that work?
Yeah, and here's where you really see the complexity of karma playing out. Her illness, according to the analysis, isn't actually linked to her current virtuous actions. Not directly. It's a result of past life karma. Specifically, from a life where she regularly killed animals for food, likely in an agricultural setting. It's a stark reminder that actions from long ago can still ripen in this life. The path to her recovery, the case suggests, involves letting go of excessive worry, particularly about her grandson, we'll get to him next, and consistently keeping her precepts with a truly peaceful mind. If she manages that inner calm, the insight was, her health will gradually improve. She can heal.
So even with decades of devout practice now, that past karma can still surface so strongly. That's sobering. Okay, tell us about the grandson. He's the one the grandmother worries about. He's 26, orphaned young father, died of nasal cancer, mother of breast cancer, just a year apart, raised by the grandmother and his aunt, the Bhikkhuni's middle sister. And he has this violent temper. No interest in Buddhism. That must be tough for them. And then he had a medical crisis after military service, severe headaches, fainting spells, diagnosed with a brain tumor. And the first surgery had a really grim prognosis, death or vegetative state. The Bhikkhuni stepped in immediately, right?
Yes, she responded with compassion. She arranged for substantial merit-making activities for him. Things like participating in building 300,000 Buddha images, releasing fish big acts intended to offset his heavy karma.
And the initial result? He survived the surgery, avoided the vegetative state, but lost his balance, couldn't walk normally, needs full-time care, and then they found more tumors, deep-seated ones, leading to another complex surgery, resulting in blindness in one eye, paralysis of an arm and leg. He's still hospitalized now, facing a long road of physical therapy.
That's right. And his story is a powerful illustration of very specific karmic consequences. His violent temper and the brain tumors, the analysis linked these directly to a past life. He was apparently a thug, a debt collector, who frequently harmed people, specifically hitting them on the head. And his extreme temper now. It's linked to being recently reborn from a realm of suffering, Yamaloka, where he endured torment. That anger carried over. Had he gone through other realms first, like animal or ghost realms, the temper might have been milder. The brain tumors themselves are seen as the direct result, the vipaka, of repeatedly hitting people's heads in that past life. So while the merit the Bhikkhuni made helps buffer him, especially regarding his current actions toward his grandmother and aunt, it's not enough for a full recovery from such heavy past karma. He needs to generate his own merit, diligently practice generosity, morality, meditation, release animals, dedicate merit to those he harmed. It's his personal effort now that's needed to truly lighten that karmic load.
It's incredibly specific. Okay, one more family connection. His deceased parents. The Bhikkhuni's eldest sister and her husband both died of cancer relatively young. She from breast cancer, he from nasal cancer.
Yes, and their karma, while distinct, had related roots according to the insight. The sister's breast cancer stemmed from a mix of past patetipa, killing animals, and also komisamichakara, sexual misconduct from several past lives, sometimes as a male, sometimes female. The husband's nasal cancer was also linked to patipada, harming beings, but had a specific leading karma, an incident where he hit a neighbor in the face with a log, severely damaging their nose. That specific act strongly influenced the type of cancer he developed, reinforced by other killing karma. After death, both were reborn as Bhumateva, earth deities in a general celestial village. But again, the merit the Bhikkhuni dedicated significantly improved their conditions, better food, homes, clothes. They apparently now live in adjacent homes there.
Okay, all this talk of cancer tied to specific past actions. It raises a big question. How does this view, from the Dhammakaya perspective, compare to, say, conventional medicine's focus on genetics, lifestyle, environment?
That's a really important distinction. From this perspective, cancer is seen primarily as the bhakakama, a karmic consequence, and it's individual, highly specific to the person. No one can inherit or bear another's karma directly. Now, similar karmic patterns might draw family members together, leading to similar health issues appearing in a family, like with the sister and husband. But critically, in this view, cancer is not genetically inherited. It's rooted in individual past actions ripening. The causes are seen as complex, but patipada, harming or killing living beings, is identified as the main root cause for most cancers. This is often amplified or directed by other specific karmas, like uterine cancer might be killing plus sexual misconduct, kamesa michakarna. Liver cancer could be killing plus habitual alcohol use, in Suramaraya. Tongue cancer, killing plus harmful speech, Vaishakama. Blood or bone cancer, killing plus theft or corruption, Adinadana. Whether someone can be cured or find relief depends on how heavy that specific karma is, balanced against the merit they've accumulated, past and present. Good karma can lighten the bad, maybe lead to healing, or at least ensure a better rebirth even if the body doesn't survive. It's like a complex balancing act.
So the ultimate prevention strategy becomes pretty clear then, doesn't it? The most effective way to avoid these severe karmic illnesses is strictly upholding the 5 precepts. No killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no lying, no intoxicants. It's like creating this shield of safety, not just for others, but for your own future well-being.
Absolutely. Okay, let's circle back to the Bhikkhuni herself, her incredible prison work. As you said, this isn't seen as her working off negative karma, right? It's something else.
Exactly. It's understood as a manifestation of her deep bodhisattva nature, her inherent drive to help others. And it's a powerful way for her to accumulate parami's spiritual perfections, specifically through Dharmadana, the gift of teaching the Dharma. And the Anasang, the merit that comes from giving Dharma, is considered immense. It leads to wisdom, both worldly and spiritual, freedom from enemies because her loving kindness is so vast, being loved by many, rebirth into families with right view, a good reputation. It's a profound benefit. Her work also perfectly fulfills the 2 main duties seen for monastics. First, and maybe most important, prevent good people from falling by teaching karma, right conduct, precepts, laws. You work towards emptying prisons and hells. Second, reform those who have fallen. Guide prisoners towards understanding karma, living righteously, whether inside or out. Even for those facing execution, purifying the mind can lead to a better outcome, karmically speaking. She excels at both.
That makes so much sense. But there's another really interesting twist to her personal story, isn't there? Her own spiritual aspiration, her connection to Theravada Buddhism. Yeah, apparently she had this long-standing fascination with Theravada, especially in Thailand. She felt it closely resembled the Buddha's original teachings. And get this, she kept a newspaper clipping of Theravada monks meditating under a Bodhi tree. And she prayed daily for 13 years looking at this picture, wishing she could meet monks like that and invite them to her temple. 13 years.
That consistent intention is powerful, and her prayer was answered quite directly. She eventually learned that Theravada monks from Wat Phra Dhammakaya were actually teaching right there in Taipei. And then came this moment of realization. She recognized the monks in her treasured photo were Dhammakaya monks. She immediately invited a Dhammakaya abbot to her temple for an offering, a Sankathon. And now she holds this aspiration to visit Wat Phra Dhammakaya in Thailand. It's like a spiritual homecoming unfolding.
Wow. And delving even deeper into her spiritual history, the case study revealed something about her past lives. Her family members were provision supply builders in terms of their perfections, but she was different.
That's right. The insight was that she, the Bhikkhuni, had built her parami primarily as a monastic. Specifically, in a previous Buddha Kalpa, a past Buddha era, she was actually a monk within the Dhammakaya community, a male monk passionately spreading the Dharma far and wide. She loved that role. And she made a strong aspiration back then to continue spreading the teachings of Dhammakaya Vijja, the Dhammakaya knowledge. So why is she a female Bhikkhuni now and in a different lineage? Well, insight points to conflicts she experienced in that past monastic life, friction with fellow monks in the community, thoughts of separation, frustration. These mental states, even if not fully acted upon violently, had consequences. Combined with some unresolved kamasu, michakara, karma, sexual misconduct from even older lives, this led to her current female birth and being born outside the immediate Dhammakaya community, despite still having that strong monastic nature and pull towards Theravada.
That is fascinating. And the wisdom there, for you listening, is pretty profound, isn't it? It really highlights how our thoughts, our intentions, even the ones we just hold in our minds, can genuinely weave the fabric of our future lives, our connections.
Precisely. And her current aspiration now, despite being a bhikkhuni in her current lineage, the guidance for her was to just keep cultivating parami fully, in all ways generosity, morality, meditation, teaching Dharma, and to hold the strong intention to reunite with the Dhammakaya community in the afterlife, in Tussit heaven. Specifically in the special zone reserved for bodhisattvas pursuing this path, the aspiration remains key.
What an absolutely incredible journey we've taken today, just unpacking all these layers, from the selfless, transformative work of this bhikkhuni in a maximum security prison, to the really intricate, sometimes painful, karmic stories within her own family, and these profound teachings on illness, karma, and spiritual aspiration.
Yeah, we've really seen the undeniable power of the Dharma to change lives, haven't we? And the very precise, often intricate ways karma operates, cause and effect playing out. Plus that dual role of monastics preventing suffering and helping to heal those who have already fallen, guiding them forward. These are really universal principles highlighted through her specific story.
So as we wrap up, what does this all mean for you listening right now? Maybe take a moment to consider your own intentions, your thoughts, even the ones you don't voice out loud. How might they be shaping your own destiny, your connections, your future experiences? And reflect on how acts of compassion, even small ones, and sticking to basic ethical principles like those 5 precepts, how they can create these profound positive ripples, not just for your own future, but for the well-being of everyone, the whole world around you, something to definitely mull over.